Now that we've moved that over, we're going to use the modify chamfer tool to change these radius and radii in these corners. So let's go ahead into the modify panel. Let's look. We have three chamfer tools. We have the equal distant chamfer, we have distance and angle chamfer, and the two distance chamfer. So I'm going to start with the equal distance chamfer. And to use this, I'm going to select the vertical line and the horizontal line. Now notice, as soon as I do this, it kind of gives me the arrow pointing to that line, and then it's asking me for a distance. So I want this distance to be 0.25, and I will hit enter. So now notice the equal distance chamfer, this is going to create 45-degree angles, or 135 degrees on the inside here, and the distance when we specify this is from this point to that point, and from here to there as well. So this is an important thing to remember, especially on engineering prints, where those dimensions come from. Oftentimes people think that when it says a quarter by 45-degree chamfer that it's referring to the length of this line being a quarter inch, but that's not the case. It's actually from the end point to where these two edges would meet is actually the quarter inch by the 45. And of course this line would be much longer as well. So now that we have that, let's go ahead. We're going to trim out. We don't need this radius, so we can just trim that out. So I've selected that one. We're going to go back here to the chamfer. Now I'm going to use the distance and angle chamfer here, and I'm going to select the vertical line first and then the horizontal line. Now notice when we do this, we get a different pop-up. So we have two ways that we can do this. I can adjust by moving the arrow back and forth, and I can I just left click and held as I move the arrow, or I can grab hold of this and I can press the left click and hold this to kind of change that angle. So you could do it that way if you want, or we could also sit here and place this by moving and tabbing back and forth. So we can hit the tab button to tab back and forth, and in this case we want this dimension to be 0.150, and I want that to be 75 degrees. So as soon as I've got those in there, hit enter to place that chamfer, get it out, and of course now I'm going to go back in and we're going to trim out these and get rid of those. So that now takes care of that. So you can see I've got my 75-degree angle here and my 15 or 150 thousandths of an inch distance in that chamfer tool. Last chamfer tool for us to use is the two distance chamfer. So here I'm going to use and select this horizontal line and this vertical line. Now, notice in this case, I get the two arrows pop up. Again, I can left click and hold to move the arrow a different distance. I can do the same thing going down this way to achieve the actual dimensional distance, or I can tab back and forth between those two with the dimensional box. Now, in this case, as notice, the highlighted arrow is going to be the dimension that I'm looking at. So right now, this is the highlighted arrow, and we want that dimension to be 0.125. And I'm going to hit the tab over. Now this arrow is highlighted, and this is going to be 0.25. 250 thousandths of an inch. So we'll go ahead and place those. Let's trim out that previous radius so that that's taken care of. And now we have all three of these chamfers put in. I'm going to kind of clean up some of these. Let's move these arrows around just to make sure they're kind of nested and inside where we can see them without causing any confusion. Let's move this one over, kind of move things a little bit closer here just to avoid confusion and make sure that we're dimensionally we've got everything that we need on this part. So that is how to use the chamfering tool and the three different chamfer tools in sketch mode.